so much for stopping by here at the Healthy Eating Pavilion. We hope that we can educate you guys and give you some more information, not just about being fit, losing weight, gaining muscle, but just about being healthy through and through. And our first speaker is very, very awesome in her fitness coaching, and she's also a raw food coach. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Lori Painter.
Hey, how does this sound? Good? You guys hear me okay? Okay. How many of you guys here know who I am or have seen my blog or anything? All right, oh cool, a couple people here, awesome. So for the people that are here that don't know me, my name is Lori Painter. I have a website called Lifebylori.com, and my foundation of what I like to do is I like to focus on empowerment. And health and fitness is my background. I've been working in health and fitness for the past 10 years. And I have read hundreds of books. I have studied hundreds of hours when it came to nutrition. It was something that I was always really passionate about. It's something that I grew up loving food, but then I found that the foods that I loved didn't necessarily love me back. All right, I'll move back over here. So the foods that I loved didn't necessarily love me back, and I noticed that my health started to decline. And when you're working in the health field, you get bombarded with all of these different options: high carb, low carb, no this, yes that, and it can seem really overwhelming. And how many of you guys are already familiar with raw foods? Anybody? A few people. Cool. So as I was going through my health journey, back in 2005, I discovered raw foods again and again and again, I guess. It comes up into my life several times. And I played with it, and then I dropped it off and let it go. And then I'd pick it back up, and I'd drop it off, and I'd let it go. And now, over the course of time, we're back up in 2012, and I'm a type of person that needs some sort of scientific proof. I need to know that what it is that I'm eating is actually filling my body with integrity. I'm not about to go and put myself in a situation to where I'm eating to look good and that it's actually harming myself. I've actually coached women that come here and they do fitness competitions. They're in the fitness industry. They look stunning. You look at them and they seem like they're the picture of perfect health. And you think, I need to do exactly what they're doing because they look phenomenal. However, when I was working with these people, although they looked beautiful and fantastic, what I found is that they were suffering with a lot of other ailments: headaches, constipation, nervous disorders, so many other things. And I was stunned. I was like, wow, look at you. You look so amazing. Who would ever know? So I kept going deeper and deeper into this. And once you go so deep, it actually really simplifies. So the coolest thing about this is that once you go into all of the omega fatty acids and carbs and this and that, and amino acids, you can go all the way back to the foundation, which is raw foods, which is the way that our species actually has evolved to be eating over the course of time. It's just the most natural way of eating. So I found for myself that there's something called a biophotonic scan. Is anybody familiar with biophotonic scanning? No. Okay, so biophotonic scanning is a way that you can measure the nutrient density of the tissues in your body. Because if you don't have nutrition, you're not going to have the energy to do the things that you love. If you don't have nutrition in your body, your body is going to break down faster. You're going to notice that you're aging faster. You're going to notice that you're more prone to disease. You might look as beautiful on the outside, but you're falling apart on the inside. And for me, I wanted to have it good on both ends, internally and externally. So I discovered something called a biophotonic scan, and it's a laser scan that you do. It takes 90 seconds, and you're actually able to tell the nutrient density of your skin through antioxidants and all of these things. And I learned about this in 2004, and I found that my score, it goes from like 10,000 all the way up to like 50,000 and plus. And most of Americans are in about 10 to 20,000 range. And what they're finding is that when your score is about that range, that you're prone to illness and disease, premature aging, and all sorts of a host of symptoms, and you just become like an open wound. So I found that, and I was 46,000, and I thought that was fantastic, right? Because most of my friends were about 18,000 in the biophotonic scanning. And just recently, I keep testing myself every year. You can test yourself every 90 days, and your score keeps going up based on the level of produce that you're eating. So I eat really clearly a lot of fruits and vegetables, and I don't complicate it. I eat a lot of leafy greens, and I eat a lot of fruit, and those seem to be the most core foundation to my diet. I have noticed such a transformational experience, myself emotionally, myself mentally, myself physically. I feel well. I'm 36 years old, or 35 years old. I have 2 teenagers here that I'm thrilled. I feel like I'm doing pretty darn good, and a lot of the symptoms of hypothyroidism and things that I was experiencing for many years, it's just not even something that I am dealing with anymore. I've been able to turn back what all of my friends have now been accumulating. Now that when I'm dealing with my friends that are my age, that are graying and aging and they're overweight, you're finding that I'm going back. I'm looking younger and younger, and I'm feeling better and better. I'm more clear than I was 10 years ago. And this is why I love doing what I do, and it's not rocket science. So back to the biophotonic scanning, is that I think even Dr. Oz had it on his show, and Dr. Oz everybody pretty much knows him. He talks about health and all these things. He scanned at 75,000, and everybody was like blown away. They're like, whoa, this dude is like eating his fruit and his veggies. He's rocking it out. And so I have a scanner, and she's like, Lori, come down and get scanned. Let's see where you're at. This is about 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go. I scored in at 93,000. She said she has never seen someone with that high of a scan on her scanner. And she's like, Lori, do you take supplements? No, I don't. Lori, do you eat meat? No. Lori, do you eat carbs, and are you eating grains? No, I don't. I don't eat any of those things. However, I did. But what I noticed is and I'm going to just be really clear, I don't only eat fruits and vegetables. Every now and then, I'll eat something. And I'm not going to be a freak and neurotic about it and be like, oh my gosh, does that have the right calories and carbs? No, I'm not a calorie counter. I'm not a carb counter. I'm not all about amino acids and micromanaging. What I'm about is just really taking a holistic view when it comes to your body, getting your body ecology right. I mean, I deal with my kids and they start getting acne and they start smelling bad. I clean up their diet, we don't deal with it. The acne goes away, their body odor goes away, any kind of cold or flu symptoms start to go away. I really have found that I can turn off and turn on beauty. I can turn off and turn on energy. I can turn these things on just by tweaking around with my diet. And that's a really empowering thing, because many of my family members have passed away with cancer. And I remember thinking, that's me. That's what's, how many people look at your family members, you see they're dying of diabetes, you see that they're dying from cancer, and you're thinking, yep, that's probably going to happen to me. And that's not a really fun place to be, I don't think. So I really took the time to empower myself and educate myself when it came to food and fitness, and I feel like I've gotten it, and I feel like I have proof. And it's a scientific proof, which is what I love, the biophotonic scanning. And I also love fitness too, don't get me wrong. I love fitness, and I think together, you're unstoppable. You're a knockout. So, let me see. So, some of you people that know about raw foods, how many of you have actually tried raw foods or gotten into that? Sweet, so a few of you. So raw foods basically is food that just hasn't been cooked and highly processed. That's really it. And one of the best ways that I absolutely love to get my raw foods in without like dehydrating and doing all of these crazy things and I need 100 ingredients. I'm really simple. I'm a minimalist. I have a lot of things going. I've got a business to run. I got kids to raise. I've got my own health to take care of. I don't have a lot of time to screw around in the kitchen, and I don't want to screw around in the kitchen. So like I talked about protein, I don't eat meat any longer. I went vegan back in 2007, and every now and then I might have a little egg in my diet, or I might have a little cheese in my diet, but my foundation is plants. And I get in 2 bunches of leafy greens, dark leafy greens, every single day. Because here's the deal. When we're talking about protein and your amino acids, a lot of times you'll see here, everybody's talking about amino acids. Where are you getting your protein? What are your amino acids? Well, when we're eating flesh, where basically what happens in our digestive system is we've got to take that flesh and break it down into amino acids so that we can then absorb it. So when we have to break down that protein, it requires a lot of energy. You know how after you eat a meal, you're like, oh, I gotta like sit down and like take a break and watch some TV. When you do that, it's because your body is taking all of your energy and putting it into the digestive process. It's making you break down that food. And we are born with a certain number of enzymes in our body. We all have a certain number, and you can use them any way that you want. However, we're mostly using them on digesting our foods. So one of the cool things that you do is you start eating foods that already are high in enzymes themselves, and they break down and they digest very quickly, which means it leaves you to have energy to heal your body or have energy to go and work out and get up off your booty, okay? Because it's really hard to get up and want to exercise when you're eating food that is constantly weighing you down. So I personally don't have a lot of time. Like I said, I get my 2 bunches of leafy greens for my amino acids because dark leafy greens is what the horses are eating. It's how, look at them, they don't eat any meat and they have amazing muscle definition because they're eating amino acids in the form of dark leafy greens. Now, this sounds really trippy, right? The first time I heard this, I thought, oh my gosh, people that are vegetarian and vegan, they're just crazy. They're just loopy. I don't understand. They're not very healthy. And I took it upon myself to be my own human science experiment. And I thought, I'm going to go off of it. I'm going to give it a shot and see how I feel. I haven't turned back since. And I've tried. I'll start to eat things again, hoping like maybe I'll feel absolutely better. And there's just nothing that has been able to surpass the amount of energy that I feel when I eat this way. So I eat a green smoothie in the morning instead of a protein shake. But years ago, I did do protein shakes. And my green smoothie is really simple. I take fresh bananas, I take fresh dark leafy greens, put some ice in the blender, and that's it. I don't mess around with powders and pills and potions. I just want it simple, I want it quick. The banana covers over the flavor of the greens, so that's like a win-win situation. My kids take it down as well with me. Probably drink about 24 ounces every morning. That is the way that I feel like I get, one, my fuel through my fruit. I'm getting slow release sugars because the fiber is still intact with my produce. So I'm not juicing it out. It still has its fiber. So I'm getting a slow release of of fuel throughout the day. So it's going to last me a little bit of time, and I'm getting my amino acids at the same time. This is the most efficient way that it doesn't require my body to work very hard to break down and digest. It simply does it practically on its own. My mind is clear, my energy is clear. I want to get up, I want to go, and I want to live. I sleep approximately 2 hours less than I used to sleep. My digestion is better, my skin is better. Everything about my life has absolutely improved as a result of adopting this lifestyle. And I no longer fear cancer. I know exactly what's going on. When the body, there are 7 stages to cancer, and it is very simple. I've been in the health field for 10 years, and you can see the baby signs that we're just not simply trained as a common person. We don't go to school to learn to see, look at the yellows in someone's eyes. Look at that they can't even grow fingernails. Look at the fact that their skin is falling apart. These types of things, we're not trained to understand what inflammation is and noticing these things at a premature level. However, I start seeing things a lot faster than most people do. I can see it because I've been working with it. So I do something with a lot of my clients that I want to hook you guys up today. One of the things that I do with my clients is I all have them do a fitness analysis, because I think it's really important that you know that, but a toxicity analysis, where you go through and you answer some questions. And if you guys come up to me after today, after I'm done speaking, I will give you and send you an email with that information. It's a toxicity analysis. What happens is that the diets that we are eating today are overburdening our system. And what happens is because we're so overburdened, our health is starting to decline. We're starting to basically break down a lot sooner than what we ever would have before. So I will will hook you guys up with something called a toxicity analysis. And you will find that a lot of the symptoms that you are experiencing that actually seem very common. A lot of people, we think it's very common that, you know, we get the cold and the flu. We think it's very common that, you know, we have bad digestion. A lot of these things, we think it is common, but is it normal? Absolutely not. It's not normal, but it is common. So this is going to be something that can give you a number to be able to measure your level of toxicity so you can empower yourself and start walking in the direction to start taking down that level of toxicity for yourself. The second thing that I like to do and test to let people know is a nutrient density analysis, where you're able to measure the nutrient density of your tissues to where you know how much integrity you have within your body. I don't care what anybody looks like on the outside. If you don't have what's going on the inside, it's not going to ever show up on the outside. I used to be a fake baker. I used to be get the fingernails done, I get the tanning done, I get the hair blonde. I did that all. And it was because I needed so much. My skin didn't naturally glow. My nails weren't growing. Those things were just not happening for me. So I kind of stepped in artificially to help those things out. However, now my nails grow like crazy and I've got to clip them all the time. My hair grows, I always am getting my hair trimmed. So the things, and my skin, I wear far less makeup than I ever have. As a matter of fact, I pretty much only wear makeup when I'm up here on a stage or I'm making a video. But honestly, finally, for the first time in my life, as a woman in her 30s with kids, I can freaking walk down the street without wearing any makeup and think, I don't look so bad. I look all right. And that feels good because before I was like, crap, do I have my makeup on? Do I look okay? And I needed those things because my skin just didn't glow. So I really want to hook you guys up with the nutrient density analysis. Again, I'll send this stuff to you too. I looked around here to see if I could find a scanner, because normally at these kind of events, they have them. But I can send you the link where you can find in your area, especially if you live out here, there's tons of scanners out here. They will scan you for like $10. Sometimes they'll do it for free. And it takes 90 seconds and they will scan the nutrient density of your tissues. And I just got a question for you really quick. How many of you now are eating at least 9 cups of fruits and veggies a day? Okay, yeah, I get it. I was there too one day, okay? Like, I remember those days. Veggies, what? So here's the deal. This is really simple stuff. I'm not gonna like complicate and need all this crazy stuff. You just gotta get your foundation right. Are you drinking your water? Are you properly hydrated? When you go to the bathroom, does your urine smell? Is it colored? Is it foamy? Those are signs that we're just used to thinking it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be clear. It's supposed to be odorless. We shouldn't be dealing with massive body odor. Signs of acne usually are directly related to the colon and our elimination. When we have our issues going on with our colon and things not being eliminated, it starts showing up in the skin. It's the fastest way. Colon and skin are like best friends right here, okay? Next thing is when we're having bowel movements. I'm just going to go there because I'm like an all-out woman. Like, I just say it all. If you're not having a bowel movement 2 to 3 times a day, where do you think that stuff's going? I mean, are you really eliminating as much as it's coming in? And if you're not, what it's doing is it's being stored in your fat tissues. And what do fat tissues do? They hold on to toxicity. What does toxicity do? It takes your pH level down. It turns you into an opened wound. When you're an open wound, you are prone to disease and infection. That's just how it is. So I would love for you guys to consider empowering yourself, do the toxicity analysis, do a nutrient density analysis, find out how much integrity your body has, how resilient you are, and I guarantee that if you start turning around your life, start getting in those 9 cups of fruits and veggies a day, and I personally recommend 2 bunches of that be leafy greens and about 7 to 14 pieces of fruit. I eat sometimes 16, 18 pieces of fruit in a day, and I feel so much better than when I eat a very high-fat diet. I just tend to go into hibernation mode. I mean, look at a lot of animals in nature. Bears will eat a very high-fat diet and then go pass out for the winter. So it slows us down. It slows down my mind, and sometimes slowing down is okay. And every now and then, I'll have a higher fat meal, but I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel lazy. I don't want to do much. But anyways, so I keep it really simple. Lots of fruit, lots of greens. My biggest thing that I see is nobody wants to eat the greens. And if they do eat the greens, they're taking that ranch dressing and like smearing it on, which is what I used to do. And to be honest with you, that's why I do the green smoothies, because I don't have to smear on a bunch of dressing and it doesn't have all the fat. And because it's blended and the banana covers the flavor, I just can take it down like nothing. It is such a great way to start your day. And if you've noticed that when you take that first meal of your day and you make it a green smoothie, the momentum just keeps going higher and higher. You make a lot better choices throughout your day. So I would like to challenge you guys to go and do those things. Again, if you want to, come up to me at the end of this. I'll hook you up with those things and email me and I'll get you guys that stuff. I really want you guys to no longer take that. A last thing that I'd love for you guys to empower yourself with is how many people know their pH of their bodies? Okay, so one person. So the pH of your body is the acidic portion of your body. How alkaline, how acidic are you? And again, just like when you grow a plant, if any of you guys ever garden, if you try to grow a plant in the wrong kind of soil, it's not going to grow. And that's because it needs a perfect environment. And our body is a whole ecosystem on its own. It has its own ecology. It has a pH that it's designed to work with. And the way that we eat, we're eating really acidic foods, and then we're wondering why our bodies are breaking down. You could go to a health food store, get something called a pH strip. When you go and get yourself a pH strip, you can do it with the saliva, or you can do it through your urine, and it will pick up right away your pH levels. And you will start to be able to start alkalizing your body, bringing it back to the correct pH so that you're strong and resilient, and you're able to just be resistant to all the BS that pretty much most people around you are dealing with. I used to have asthma. I don't have asthma. I used to have massive respiratory problems. I just don't deal with that stuff anymore. I don't get colds and flus every season. And I was the girl that had tissues in my hand all the time. And everybody was saying, you poor thing, you're sick again? And I'm like, no, this is just how I am. This is just how it is. And that was about now we're talking 7 years ago. And I just don't deal with that stuff anymore. And I see this, and my heart goes out to a lot of people, and I see that they just don't understand, and they're breaking down, and they just don't know. And it breaks my heart because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Maybe it was for a certain point that you had to learn the lessons that you needed to learn that brought you to this point. But it's now to take this into your own hands and to empower yourself. Become your own science experiment. Don't just sit here, and I don't want you to listen to anybody and just take their word and say, that's what it is. Take my words and challenge yourself. Give yourself 30 days and challenge yourself. Be really real. Take the toxicity analysis. Take the nutrient density analysis. See where you're at, and then in 30 days, retest yourself. Because if you don't have your own belief and your own experience, you're not going to stick with it. It's just not going to go down. So I know that I said a lot of information. How many of you guys have any questions that are like coming up for you as I'm talking about this? Anybody have questions? About what? What? Oh, pH? Your pH should be about 7.2. 7.2 is about your natural pH level. And if you guys go get a biophotonic scan, it should be over 50,000. And I just want to tell you a really cool thing. 3 months of eating 9 cups of fruits and veggies a day, your score will be there. It doesn't take long. And we know, if you guys have ever heard of live blood cell analysis, where you can get your blood analyzed, that's great, but your blood changes every 24 hours. So if you do a blood analysis, that's something like I could just drink green juice for a day and get my blood great. But it takes at least a month to 3 months for it to get into the tissues and the cells in my body. And that's what the biophotonic scanning does. It gets it into it shows that you're consistent. So if I have one off meal in a day, or I'm sorry, in a week, it's not gonna blow me. And I'm not like one of those really extreme people that it's like, oh, I can't eat this food because it's not, in an alignment. It's overall the consistency, just like working out. How many people here know some of the most fit people here did not do it just over the weekend, in 10 days trying to get fit. It's over the long term. It's over the long term. So I wish that I could tell you that there was this magic bullet, right? There's this amazing pill that you could just take and you just like hooked yourself up, but it's not. I don't know anybody that has been making major deposits in their health every day with a quick fix pill or a quick fix synthetic product. I just haven't seen it. And hey man, I'm like up for the challenge. Like if your guys get your score and you like blow me away, like it's on. Like I'll compete with you guys because I want to see more and more people take and raise the integrity in their body ecology and bring it up. So if you guys reach out to me afterwards, totally would love to play that game. And I just totally would love for you guys to just get in touch with your bodies because there's a lot of information here. And we can get really, really complicated, and I don't want to do that to you. I've gone as so complicated that I missed the forest for the trees. I was so zoomed in. I needed to know, I needed my calcium, I needed my fish oils, I needed this, I needed that, and then was I eating fruits and vegetables? No. No, I was too busy thinking about that I needed to get this in. Okay, so it doesn't matter what else I'm eating. And a lot of times we just want that easy, instant gratification. And like I'm saying, I don't know, it just doesn't exist. It actually takes someone with integrity, someone that has commitment to themselves and really wants to empower themselves. And that's what I'm all about. I coach women on a regular basis. I help women get into shape. I have a bikini body program actually that I'm launching in March. So that's available where I do coaching with you, with cleansing your body and eating nutrient-rich foods and just really working out and getting yourself looking good, looking smoking hot. So that's just what I do. And I'm wondering if anybody else has any questions for me, and I don't even know how long. How much more time do I have?
Take one question.
I'll take, okay, I got time for one question. Anybody? Anybody about raw foods? Anybody about protein myth? Anybody about, I don't know. Yeah. What, do I juice? Yes, I juice and I blend, and I do those on different times. So here's what my day looks like, the way that I eat. Most mornings I drink a lot. I drink a lot of water. I drink anywhere from half my body weight in ounces in water to 1 ounce of water per pound I weigh. And then I'll put lemon in that. And then I drink 1 to 2 green smoothies a day. I rotate my greens. It's very important that you rotate your greens because all greens have a little drug in them. They're meant to rotate. So what you do is I change. Sometimes it's kale, sometimes it's spinach, sometimes it's romaine, sometimes it's always different. And it's really important. How many people have heard of people getting allergic to spinach? Yeah. You know why? Because you're eating that only. You're only eating that one thing. And what happens is plants don't like, the way that plants survive is they put a little bit of this drug in it to make it to where animals know how to back off of that, but we humans, we just don't have that sensitivity. So we eat so much of it that we build up that toxicity of that one particular component. And if you don't rotate your greens, you're gonna find yourself allergic to these things. So it's really important. I definitely am constantly switching it up. I juice, but I don't juice every day. I do it seasonally because I'm just so go, go, go. I really get it mostly in through my dark leafy greens, through my smoothies. But I love a classic, I do cleansing every season for about a week because I just think it's good for the body. And I just renew myself and I feel awesome. So I just take down a green juice, and what's in that is, it's always a leafy green. It's always an herb like cilantro. There's always like apple, celery, cucumber, say kale, and ginger, and a little bit of lemon. And that's like a classic green juice. And that just goes into your bloodstream within 15 minutes. All that nutrient is right into your bloodstream. There's no digestion even needed. It's like the best cup of coffee you could ever want. The best energy drink you could ever want. It freaking rocks. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys have any more questions, please come up and ask me. It was a pleasure being here, and thank you.
Today we're going to have an excellent chance to ask questions of 7 of our speakers, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves. We're going to do this in an open format, so if you have a question, we will get the mic to you and have you ask it, and then the panelists can then choose to answer that question for you. If you have a question to a specific panelist, be sure and tell us that. You guys do like a 30-second introduction of who you are.
Hey, what's up? My name is Lori Painter. I'm the author of Lifebylori.com, L-O-R-I. And I'm a coach for women, and I'm really passionate about coaching women, getting connected with their health, getting connected with their bodies, and getting connected with the way that they conduct their lives. So I'm really big into transparent living. I've been a health coach for the past 10 years, and I just want to hook you all up. So that's what I'm about.
Okay. What's your question, and do you have it for a specific panelist?
So I stand up here, right? So I can see you guys. So I'm a college student. How would you recommend staying healthy and fit when I'm home? I usually all day in class. So what would you recommend for me?
Sweet. I'm going to hook you up right now. I think the interval training is so on point, and the snacks is so on point. Get your hydration levels up first. I mean, in addition to all of these things, because a lot of times we're constantly eating and we're not drinking enough water. So half of your body weight in water, in ounces, to one ounce of body weight in ounces. So staying fully hydrated is just really going to keep your system really nice and clean.
Thank you so much. That was great. Sorry. Any other questions?
I'm just curious about everyone's opinions on meat, because I feel like the last few days I've heard, yeah, meat's great with paleo, and then I hear Ron, it's like, no, fruits and vegetables, and I cut out meat before a while ago and noticed a huge difference in my digestion, but fish and chicken is where I'm battling, especially with dairy too. Dairy I know I don't react well with, but I love it, so I just really want to hear everyone's opinions on meat and meat products, and yell at each other, do something.
All right, I'm the loose cannon here. I'm going to just come and screw it all up. Hey, I've been into health for the past 10 years, and I love it. I have gone through all of them. Raw food, vegan, vegetarian, whole food, grass-fed. I've done it all. And I'm going to tell you this. If you drop the processed stuff, you're going to rock out, right? Like, that's just it. We can complicate this. You can go on to carbs, or you can go on to protein, paleo. It doesn't. When you cut out processed, your health is going to skyrocket, okay? And I'm going to be real with you. I eat like massive amounts of produce. Sometimes it's steamed, sometimes it's raw. I don't touch soy processed. I don't touch any processed stuff. My health freaking went through the roof. I chose to not eat meat only because my pH went off. I also noticed that my blood wasn't as good, and I also noticed that my nutrient density went down. I noticed that my body ecology wasn't good for me. Now, I don't freak out. I don't do it for animal reasons. I really do it about how much integrity is in my body, okay? So I think that anything that you do, if you kick out processed food, you're going to rock. You eat your greens, you're going to rock. You eat your fruits and veg, you're going to rock. You drink your water, you exercise, you're going to rock. And if 20% of your diet has all those other things in it, you're smooth sailing. I mean, how many people, when I asked earlier, how many people are eating 9 cups of fruit and veg? Nobody raised their hand, okay? So I think that whatever you choose to do, if you choose to go, whole food vegan and you eat your plants, great. If you go paleo and you cut out processed food and you eat your plants, awesome. You're gonna do phenomenal. Food is one very small component to your health. There's so many other things going down, your emotional mindset. If you are not mentally aligned with what you're doing, you're gonna suffer. So you gotta get right with yourself, no judgment, no matter what, ethical, unethical. You gotta do what's right for you. Eat your plants, drink your water, do whatever. Pay attention to your body. Do you get body odor after eating certain things? Do you get bloated after eating certain things? Are you eliminating 2 to 3 times a day? Only you are gonna know that. I know people that eat things that I don't eat, and they do phenomenal. You are your own science project, okay? But I'm just gonna tell you, for me, high plant-based. As many plants as you in your body, dark leafy greens, whatever you wanna do from there, sweet. Be your own science experiment. We all were that for ourselves, okay?
Great comments, you guys. Who wants to be the next question? Okay. Keep it on.
Hi, what would you have to say for people with blood sugar imbalances? For example, I tend towards hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, and my boyfriend has type 2 diabetes, and we both love to work out. What type of diet would you recommend for that, especially for carb cravings?
Man, I'm going to be the boring one here and just say like a lot of veggies. I do think that juicing fruit is a pretty hard thing to do. When you remove the fiber from your sugar source, that it goes really quickly into the bloodstream. Sometimes people have a lot of response to that. But I have found that the fat mixed with the sugar is usually the thing that trips up the blood sugar issues. So say that I had a smoothie that had fruit and fat in it at the same time, I got dizzy when I'd get up from a sitting. I would feel loopy, I would feel weird. It's because sugar is designed to go into the blood and out of the blood very quickly. But if you combine it with something like fat, that it slows its ability to be out of the body, it becomes a feeding frenzy for some other different things to go down. And that's not what fruit is meant to do, and sugar is not meant to just stagnate within the blood. So think about that when you're eating things that have sugar, or even fruit sugars. If you're eating them with any sort of fats, it's going to probably screw up your blood sugar. That's my own opinion.
I think we're probably on about our last question. So who wants to be the last question? Okay.
Do you have any advice for someone who wants to go into the nutrition field?
Question. I have.
Hey, okay, so 2001, I went through a holistic health practitioner program. That's what I did. I knew that I was really passionate about health, but I didn't really know exactly what direction I was going to take it in. And what you're going to find is, I think that number one, now there's your saying like blog, shout it from the rooftops, the things that you were learning, and people will start to gravitate to you. And when you step into a leadership role, the responsibility steps up for you. You've got to step up your game because people are now depending on you, and you've got to be really informed because people are coming to you for information. So you getting out there and starting either a website or sharing the fact that you're in this journey and using yourself as your own science experiment, I suggest you check out every single diet and you figure it out for yourself and you play around. You're going to find there's a core, there's an essence to every single diet out there. Stick to those foundational things and you're going to be just fine. And I think that it's really awesome in this sense. Like, check this out. Medical doctors, to go and get their degree, to be a medical doctor, they only need 20 hours of nutrition for certification. 20 hours. I would say I have about 1,000 hours in nutrition. I have read hundreds of books. I have practiced. So I would suggest that if you start now, it'll probably be about 7 years till you really start learning and start embodying everything. It will take some time. But if you love this and you enjoy this, then find out the things to really test your body. I personally love scientific, I love backed up things. I love biophotonic scanning, I love pH scans, I love knowing everything that my body ecology is right. Start learning about ways that you can test and read the science of the body for deficiencies and things like that. Become a master at reading the human body, and you're going to do just phenomenal, whether it's in nutrition or fitness or whatever direction you go in. But this is a fun journey. I think that you're going to do great if this is where you want to go.
A round of applause for our panel. Thank you so much, Lori, Keith, Tara, Gina, Matt, Anne-Marie, and Nell for being here. And I hope you guys all got a lot of great information. Be sure and look up their blogs. You can talk to them after, right now, if you'd like to. And thank you for being here.